Welcome to East Meets West. Today I have Vanessa Ross from Youth with a Mission. And Vanessa, she is a very young, passionate person, especially for youth. And she's on this journey of becoming the leader of this organization. And as she develops her leadership, she's going to share a little bit today about her journey. She has an associate degree in the arts of counseling, which she incorporates in her ministry. And she loves helping people, especially people who are struggling to discover and walk their true God-given identity. She, very young individual, also is a founder of a newly created youth ministry called Youth Explosion. I'm sure Vanessa is going to tell us a little bit more about herself and what she's doing. And we will get into learning from her today about, as a protege, and some tips also for those who are in the same line and you're building on your skills and getting to the next level. So Vanessa, welcome to this youth segment, I would say, but also your being here, that we do appreciate, taking the time out to share with others and helping to build others. And I know you're all about that. So I know you will give us a lot of you today, which we want. So welcome to the program, East Meets West.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to join and be with you guys today. So I'm excited for our discussion time.
Yes. Is there anything else you want to add to what I said about you?
Yes, you explained about Youth Explosion, and I just wanted to share a little bit more on Youth Explosion. Youth Explosion has been a vision for me since when I was young. I always have been passionate to work with young people and work with children as well. And that has been a vision for many years since I remember myself in youth groups, joining youth groups, seeing how youth groups function. So it has been a passion, a vision that I have been pursuing for many years, and it has been only a year since we started the ministry, developed the ministry, and being trained and equipped to actually run a ministry that is not only effective, but as well as life-giving and being able to champion young people. So yeah, just that a little bit more behind the vision of the Youth Explosion and where it came from and where I'm at with it today. So yes.
What are some of the activities though that Youth Explosion actually does with the kids, with the young people there? I know you're stationed in Purica, and so tell us a little bit more specific as to some of the programs maybe you guys are having.
Youth Explosion, for now, due to COVID, back because we started it last year, we have a volunteer of about 10 volunteers currently, and before that, we had my desire is always to equip and train people, to empower them for the ministry or what they're passionate or the vision that they have inside of them. So we had 3 months training first, beginning of last year, and out of that birthed the volunteers for the ministry. We are located here in Purica, Lot 4 High Park. And we started once a month on a weekend to meet with the kids. So it's normally be a Friday evening session with the young people and Saturday afternoon from 2 to 4 with the kids. in our session times, the vision and the goal behind it is not only equipping young people and children with fun and skills, and also developing a lifestyle model. That's, I think, the big picture behind the ministry. We want to create a place where the young people not only get to learn to develop their skills and what they are passionate about, but we do a lot of teaching. From our teaching, we have a lot of activities where the kids can put into practice whatever we're teaching them, regardless it's about dealing with suicide, because that's one of the big things that our nation is facing, and especially this region. Like we're just teaching the kids and the teenagers how to deal with life itself and in general, handling your personal journey, creating a place that they can feel safe. And out of that, we may have like identity, learning value, topics of how to cope with peer pressure, understanding self. And we have events or activities that encourage the kids, not only that they have teaching, but they can see and put into practice the little that they've learned. And we have also a time of fellowship, because like you were sharing, I love and I'm passionate about counseling. It's what I study. So I always try to create a place that they can process. We have processing time, like group therapy, group processing at the end of our sessions. And now, so we try to give a full package, not only teachings, but activities goes along with the teaching to just enforce it a little bit more, because young people and teenagers, they give you a attention span is very short. So you just have to keeping it active for them so that they can be a part of whatever we are teaching or whatever we're doing here on campus. So that's just a little bit about how we do our ministry time.
That is awesome. Yeah, I think there need to be more like you who is willing to, ready to give their heart and time into working and building, especially the future. Because our youths are the future as they come. We're gonna grow one day. I know you're far younger than me, and that's the beauty of this. I love to see how young people are taking up roles and molding themselves into, useful individual people who God can use actually to do great things. And I could see that in you and what you're doing there with with the mission, and your program that you're running there too. So Vanessa, tell us about your journey here, and a little bit about what you learned about yourself. Maybe we could start there. What are you learning about yourself as a young individual coming into such a major role here, taking over and a ministry that has been there for years, and even with your program that you're running alongside there? Tell me what you're learning about you as a youth leader. I would say youth leader, future leader. So can you unmute yourself?
Yes, definitely. I think this last year has been a journey of adventure for me, because I started the Youth Explosion, and also I've been in transition in taking over leadership with Youth with a Mission, YWAM. For many of us that don't know, Youth with a Mission is a nonprofit organization, and it has been established in Guyana since 1991. So it have been here for some years in the nation, and the leaders have been a number of people over the years. a lot of people might know Kimberly Cook. She has been our current leader for a very long time. And recently I have taken over the leadership from a different couple that was under her. So this journey has been a year of leadership, running an organization, plus as well pioneering in ministry. And also I am currently leading my first counseling school. So I am in 3 phases at once here. So it has been definitely a challenging journey for me. When I said challenging, no matter how much you equip yourself for leadership, when you're in the position, you actually get to discover more of who you are. And I've been discovering a lot about you can never be full prepared or ready for leadership. And I step into the position of thinking I know it all and I have 100% ready to take over and to run with visions and ideas and dreams and leading the campus, running the school, running ministry. But what I have learned on this journey is the foundations or the little steps that we took in getting here, that I took in getting here is that what built my foundation stronger to even stand in the hard times. Knowing my strength and my weakness, being able to know that I'm not alone on this journey, because like I mentioned, I have been mentored for the past years that I've been involved in ministry. And on that journey, I have really, especially right now, leading the organization and the ministry, being willing to learn and being willing to be mentored, because sometimes as young leaders, we have our ideas, we have our vision, we have our dreams, and we just want to run from it, forget and run and just make it happen. And because I would always say, young leaders, we are like wild horse. We just want to go for it and we just want to run despite of what. And that's good qualities to have. We have resiliency and perseverance to push forward, but also it's very important to be willing to humble yourself and be willing to learn, be willing to have people advising you and mentors. And sometimes, especially in this season, being mentored makes me sometimes think like, oh, my idea is not great, but no, it just gives me a platform to at least share with others and invite others on my journey, and being able not only to step out there, but have a support team. I feel like a lot of us need support team in our vision, because sometimes the vision can become big than we expected, but knowing that you're never alone. So I feel like that has been one major, I would say, nugget or areas in my life that I've been understanding, that I'm never alone. Because sometimes you get in position, you feel like it's a lonely, especially leadership, sometimes it come across as a very lonely place. But knowing that the journey to get in here, you have people that have been believing in you. So don't ever stop, knowing that they're still behind you. So now having a support team has been a very important part of this journey, that even in my challenging times, that people still believe that I can do things, make decisions, learn how to delegate. Because when you're leading one organization, or for instance, the Youth Explosion Ministry, working with other people, I understand that I've learned that delegation is very important. It's my weakness, I must say. I like perfection. I want everything to be perfect. I want all my T's crossed, my I's dotted, but understanding. I think whilst I've been working with people this past year, I realized that I need to let go of certain positions so that other people can grow in them, and I can as well be able to have a healthy balance, because I'm carrying so much. Sometimes I feel like I need to do it all and no one else can do it as perfect as I can. So delegation has been an area that I've been learning a lot in, and having patience, because sometimes I feel like I want to run fast and those that are behind me running slow. So learning patience has been a big thing as well. So I feel like those are two areas that I have been learning in, and as well as respecting people, respecting others, because sometimes because I might say one of my strengths is being a visionary. I love having dreams and vision and running after that. But with that comes the part of sometimes it's hard for me to um, see others' visions and other people's view apart. And so sometimes running the race, you like, I'm like a horse. I'm like steady, going, forgetting that there are people around me, and that what they have to bring, their input as well, is important. So those are a few areas that have been, especially on the struggling side this past year, learning that I'm not alone. I have a community around me. Their inputs are important. That having mentor and people that are supporting me, they give good advice. People that I trust, people that that I can as well share and be vulnerable with. That yes, so those are just a few things that I'm learning, because sometimes it's hard for me as a young leader to just always ask for help. So asking for help has become one of my go-to things now. Every minute, like, okay, can anyone help me do something? So even asking for help and learning a healthy balance. And especially in this particular season of my life, learning, I've been learning, and God have been teaching me to have a healthy balance in my leadership. So those are just a few things that I have been processing and learning as I transition into leadership.
Vanessa, I must tell you, we have gotten so many things. I know if our viewers actually listen carefully to just those past minutes that you shared about your journey, I am sure many of not only the young leaders that are stepping into major roles right now, even the older generation that may be transitioning into a key position or key area, I would say, of leading others, leading an organization, maybe even leading a project. You have given so much insight here of things that we should be aware of. But first, I must say, thank you for being so vulnerable and shared about your weaknesses and your strength areas, the things that you're learning and you had to learn on this journey. And what you shared is indeed, those are the reality of stepping into this phase of leading from the front. And I love, the part that you said that, you're not alone. And that is so important, that you're not alone, that there are others. And so when you have someone mentoring you, preparing you for this next level here, for this next step here, that is something so important, that when it gets all frustrated and you feel stuck, you know that you have a go-to person or your support team that you would have built around you. That is so amazing, that these are things that many of us may not understand what you need to be successful in this upcoming role of putting these kind of structure in place, so that you can be good, you can be the best version of you before this team here and helping them. And I love the part too, that you were open in letting go. I do see that, lots of leaders want to just hold on to everything. And I must say, I'm a recovering perfectionist. I do want everything to be done properly, done, perfect. And I had to learn that, yes, it's not going to be perfect. Let go, give people a chance to do and fail, and, mentor them, help them to get it better next time, and all of that. And so it's a journey, it's a learning phase, and you will go through these things. And so it's you being open to it. And I love this part that you said, be willing to learn, be willing to mentor, to be mentored, right? 'Cause you also will be mentoring future leaders. And so be willing to mentor, be mentored by others. And sometimes it could be younger people than you might need to mentor you on something. And so if we go with this big ego, you're not going to hear them. And so I love the part about humility as a young leader stepping in. And yes, I know the young people have a lot of ideas and they want it to happen, and they want it to happen now. And sometimes it takes a lot of patience to wait and build it up to make it become better than what you might even imagine it to be. So I really love what you're sharing here, Vanessa, that as young people, these are some stages and some things that you will experience as you go on this journey. And I love that, you didn't get frustrated and you're giving up. Because sometimes when things don't go our way on this journey, well, maybe this is not for me, and let me go do something else, or and we could do it in a negative way, or maybe sometimes it is that you need to move on, it's not something for you. But I love that your perseverance that you talk about here, and being persistent and working and learning from the things that you may not have had. And this, what you shared here, is so important as leaders, whether young leaders, older leaders, or experienced leaders, is that self-awareness. And I hear that in you, self-awareness, how aware you are of the areas that you need to improve in, like your delegation, and asking for help, and not feel burdened that you have to come up with everything, being open to other people's ideas. And sometimes, yes, the idea is going to be far better than yours, and acknowledging them for their ideas, then it doesn't have to be about you. And yeah, it's an amazing journey as we move on and learn and grow with as each other, or from each other. So Vanessa, I do hear you. And it's I know for all of us here, young, experienced, I know some people don't like to be called old, but I'll use experienced leaders that are here. What you're saying here as a protege, it's it's something that we all can look out for. And how do we deal with it? And I love that you're an example of how to deal with it. What are your thoughts?
Yes, I definitely feel like it's good. As much as leaders, we want to promote our strength and always have that at the forefront. I find as well being self-aware is major in knowing my limitation, knowing what I can and what I cannot do, and just being able to empower or champion those around us that are there supporting. And also it gives space, like you said, it gives space for those that work with us, especially in the organization that I'm working with and the youth ministry. It gives me space to let go and give the young leaders under me and those that are now coming up room to take challenge, to encourage them, and to allow them to step into their position as well, and allow them to know that as leaders, we not all perfect. We do not need to all have our A game, but we can learn together. And having that learning environment, and as well as even leading the organization, just being willing to be humble and receive mentor is, it just shows those that you're working with that you're not above them, because sometimes you want to be bosses and be above people, and having that servant leadership is one thing that I'm very passionate about. It's something that I saw my mentor did for years working under her, but as well as it's a part of my desire, the type of leader I want to be. I want to be a servant leader. I want to create a safe place, and a place that young people can trust and grow and develop, make mistakes, because they're going to make mistakes, and I have made mistakes and have my fair share making mistakes. So when you create such an environment, um, it allows you to make mistakes, learn from them, and grow. I feel that also empowers, especially the young people, because sometimes when you make a mistake or you fail at one project, you give up. But when you have an environment, you have someone that believes in you regardless of what, they know, like, they see the vision, they see what you're capable of, and they believe in you. Because I had a lot of people believed in me, even in times when I've made mistakes. When you know that someone believes in you, even when you fail, you rise up to go again. So just having that type of environment and the ability to influence others, not only on a level of I'm doing, you need to do, but you do serve. And when you have that servant mentality, people wants to follow you, and people wants to be a part of what you're doing. People want to join in on the ideas and the vision, because they feel like we all have a part to play. And it's not only that you're being used, but your part is very important to the vision. What you offer is very important to what the goal is, the vision or the idea. So I definitely believe that, and know that having that ability to influence other is a great tool, a skill. Sometimes we feel like, oh, I'm not a people person, but just empowering one young person, because young people love to be empowered, and especially, because the show is about young people, they love to know that someone believe in them, and they want transparency. Transparency is very important. Just being able to know that I can share the things that are going on inside of me as a leader with my organization. I try as well to promote relationship, because with relationship comes trust. You can be transparent, you can be open with those that are around you, and then they can see that, I'm not like, they can see that you're not perfect. Because like I said, perfection, you mentioned it, has been one of my struggle. And I want everything to look good on the outside, but just being able to be open, transparent, it builds trust. It creates that community for others. And just having that, just having that, I feel it also helps with leadership, and helps with those that are around you. And yeah, as leaders, older, young, we all want to create trust, build trust, let people know that you love them. And as well, I just want to share on that point, as I feel love really goes a long way. And God love us. He demonstrated that in a big way. He came, he served us, Jesus served us. And just like that, just having that type of leadership style, knowing that you love someone is not only when they do something for you or you benefit from it, but loving selfless, just going the extra mile. And I definitely love my kids and teenagers that I am working with. And because the environment, Perica is a community. Now we do not only meet on when it's ministry time. My home, my place is open, our campus as well is open for our young people to be here. Sometimes they be here majority of their times. Once they're like the holiday time, they're going to definitely be here. So just creating a place of you are loved, and and demonstrating that on a daily basis, not only what you do, but also communicating that, because we want to hear that you're loved. Young people, children want to know that they're loved. It builds identity, it builds character, it helps them to know that what their vision, their thoughts, their ideas, they're all important. And YWAM as a family community, we try as much to promote that as well. And as a community, living in a community, we want that to overflow to our ministries that we're doing and the community that we're involved in. So yes, so I feel like definitely some of the points that you raised up is very important for our leadership journey, and that's, yeah.
Vanessa, I do appreciate that, even as the experienced leaders today, I've spoken to so many of them, and many experienced leaders want to do things their way all the time. This is how they're accustomed to. But when you talk about how to lead younger people, these are the generation that is coming in to the workplace, into the communities that are coming up now. And as you talk about empowering them, and the young people want to be empowered, they want to be loved, they want to know that people do care about them. And so serving leadership, serving, as a quality as a leader, it is indeed very important that we understand what it means to put people first. And how do we mold them, knowing that we use the word selfless. And I want to add intentional, that unconditionally we are loving people, intentionally we're loving people, and we are demonstrating that in our leadership too. That despite you could be so messed up, you have failed so many times, that I could still love you as an individual, and I can help you through something and help you maybe realize what or where you need to be at this point in your life. And so as leaders, that is so important, that we learn how do we lead the younger generation. And you've given some key points here. Vanessa, I thank you. You have given a lot of nuggets today, and I would encourage our audience to listen back to this program and pull out some of the things that you might need to develop as a young leader, as Vanessa has shared. Vanessa, in closing, is there any other thing or nuggets, anything that you would like to add to us before we close?
Yes, just a little statement I like to tell myself, that never settle for what is, but instead settle for what can be. And when we are going through hard times, we're like, oh, this is it. But being a leader, we always have to see beyond the this is it, having the vision to see when you don't see nothing, you envision something. So never settle, keep having your dreams. There are going to be times that it looks like it's not happening. It's not you're not seeing it. But once you can keep your eyes on what you have in the vision inside of you, it will be, and it will happen. So yes, never settle for what it is. Never settle for what it is. Instead, settle for what it can be. Because once you have it, it's just a matter of time for it to be unfold. So yeah.
Awesome. That is wonderfully put. That, indeed, let us not settle. I'm just going to take that away. Don't settle. Just keep pressing forward for what it actually can be. I thought of, picturing a horizon, and, might looks very far that it's not happening, but as you keep moving, yes, the horizon keep moving away from you, and all of that might be happening in your life, but you are going to get there. You keep focus, as Vanessa said, focus on what is it you want to achieve, and you keep working towards it, it's gonna happen. So thank you, Vanessa, for that. Thank you for your time. And guys, if there's something that resonated with you here, what Vanessa shared, and you think someone can benefit from this here, please do share this video. Share your takeaway also in the comment of what you got out from Vanessa. We would love to hear from you. If you also have any questions, that maybe something you're struggling with, that Vanessa can actually help you, how she deals with it, and share that part with you, because Vanessa is very open, and this is what leadership looks like. And as we, I could just picture her in the next couple of years, the young woman that she'll be growing into, very experienced, all the lessons she's learning, and how amazing, her leadership is going to be. So Vanessa, thank you again. And we pray, that you continue doing the good work you're doing in your ministry and the programs, all the programs that you guys have running there, especially for our young people, that
Yeah.
we do appreciate what you guys are doing and love it. So thank you again, Vanessa.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So take care and do